Houston, we have a problem. Well, Lite, Brite Nation, we have a problem.
What? What's up, Lite, Brite Nation?
Hey, what's going on, Lite, Brite Nation?
So at the very end of the last video, we were this close to getting the Ultra 4 car, over there, the Ultra 4 car fired up for the very first time since this entire engine rebuild, teardown, rebuild has occurred. And we told you guys at the beginning of the next video, dude, she is going at it. At the beginning of the next video, you would see it fired up, and we weren't lying. Guys, we're ready.
We're ready to fire her up.
Without the front axle still,
Okay,
but it'll be fine.
So Josh over at CBM is our tuner. CBM also built the engine. So what I did was I took in my ECU.
I took the ECU.
You did take the ECU.
Okay, thank you.
So anyhow, before I always had to be in the vehicle. I had to give it throttle to be able to start it. It just never wanted to start when it was cold. Anyway, look, cold. This is exhaust. It's cold.
Super cold. We haven't started it yet.
We made sure we have ignition, we have fuel pressure, we have battery. So, you hear the fuel pumps?
Yeah.
Okay, and
It's alive!
woo!
It's alive!
Hey,
Good job, Chris.
I remember where everything went.
You
did.
did.
It literally starts better with just a random tune that Josh gave us. So it had stock LS2 injectors in it. Now it has E85 injectors from like the new V8s because E85 is capable of, well, E85 takes 30% more fuel for the same amount of power. So therefore the injectors actually have more room in them.
Also just have a really nice spray pattern.
They have a really nice spray pattern, but that starts and idles beautifully. Our car never did that from the time.
Without an official tune yet, just like a base
Just
tune.
a startup tune. Josh at CBM, if you need a f***ing LS tune, look at that. Look at it. It just literally started and idled, and that's a big cam, a fresh motor, and it's just like,
Instant.
oh man.
Also, second shout out for knowing where everything went to get it all back together. Good job, Chris. Good job, Kevin.
So happy.
Good job, Jelly Bean.
Everything's pretty much, okay, she's excited too. Everything's pretty much ready to go. Houston, we have a problem. Well, Lite, Brite Nation, we have a problem.
What?
So we got the new pinion support from TubeWorks, this new big bad unit and everything. I failed to realize, and they completely failed to tell me, that the new mounting point for our drive shaft for the U-joint is no longer a 1350. So we dropped all these drive shafts off at JE Reel way ahead of time to have all these shafts done. And
With plenty of time to spare.
plenty of time to spare, but
And
now
J.E. Real killed it.
these are 1350s on both ends. The 1350 won't work. We literally have one day left. Like, we have tomorrow is our last day. We have to have this running and out of here tomorrow.
Well, I mean, it's running, but we have to have it rolling
Yeah.
and out of here tomorrow.
And we don't have a drive shaft that will
Fit the
attach
rear.
and fit. So these are front, a universal. We have this like right in between the front and rear lengths just in case. And then two rears. So two fronts, two rears, and a universal. But now I can't have a universal. I used to be able to use a front on the rear, and we can't do that anymore. Race car problems. I mean, this happens, oh my God. I mean, it's like 8 o'clock at night. There's nothing we can do right now. Tomorrow is our last day. And this happens. This has been happening the whole time. It's just one thing after another. Wrong knuckles, wrong this, didn't order enough of that, and now literally. Anyway, I'm going to have Brittany take these shafts to JE Reel tomorrow and batter pretty eyes. Now, while Brittany heads over to JE Reel to go get the rear drive shafts fixed, because this is just how the building of race cars goes. Things change, and then, yeah, what you thought was prepared, you're no longer prepared. But we have most everything crossed off the list here. You can see there's only a few things left. Dual battery install, wire GPS directly to battery, mount rad flow jack, replace the front knuckles, secure ECU, weld tabs for limit straps, and replace the air pump filter like for the helmets. And that we're doing right now here. So this is the dirt coming out of the air pump filter as we knocked it around a little bit. So that's for the helmets. You can see the filters up here. It filters, and then this pumps the fresh air to our helmets. And here's a new one. It just looks like a normal air filter, but the one that's up there is absolutely disgusting. But we are about ready. It started, it's running. The front axle's right here, all welded up, ready to go. And we are working on the knuckles right now to have the brackets welded on for the brakes. We're close. We're close. This is our last day, and I think we got it. Look at that.
Woo, that's hot.
Yeah. Axle housing is in. Steering is on. Shocks, arms, coilovers. It's starting to actually look like a Ultra 4 car again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Kind of like the EXO cage, just the cage look, no body panels. Oh, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. So we have our new knuckles, and we have to bolt everything together because we have to weld on the tabs for the brakes. It's pretty interesting because you have to get it exactly right. So there, that's what it kind of looks like. We just tacked it. Well, he just tacked it in place. So as you assemble everything together, we have an air line here with a little tire chuck. So we'll pressurize the caliper with air to get the pads to seat as this is all bolted together, and then we tack the bracket to the knuckle itself. So that should be it. He'll run a bead across here on the front and the back. And then hopefully it's there. Hopefully that's good and we don't have any interference. I mean, there's no other way to really do this. That's how you do it, right? That's pretty much how you do it. So we're getting there. All right, so this wire hanger we're putting in here to space the gap of the caliper off of the rotor itself. So you'll put one on each side, kind of get it tight in there, and that sets us up. Hit it with a little air here. So you hit the air stays in, that clamps down. So we're using air as like basically brake fluid. That's gonna clamp that down in place and weld away.
All right, you guys, now as an update on the JE Reel drive shafts, we've actually got the new ones made. They've been painted and they're waiting to dry so I can take them back and get them installed on the Ultra 4 car. But while they dry, I want to show you the difference and what exactly was done. Okay, so if you look right here, this is what was on our old drive shaft. I say old, it was still brand new, but unusable. So you see they actually cut it off right here. And this is what we did have. Now it didn't work though, because instead of a 1350 U-joint right here, our new third member has this, which is a 1480. So you can see instantly there's a massive difference there in size. But the reason they have to cut it off right here is because if you look here, there's a difference in size between these two as well. Let's see if you can do it this way. So you have an 1.5 inches here and an 1 9/16 here. So it is slightly bigger as well. And what they actually have to do is machine this collar right here down to match the tube that they're gonna weld back onto so we can still keep the other section of our drive shaft. So this is what we needed that we didn't know we needed. And luckily for us, JE Reel was not just kind enough to fix one of our drive shafts today, like instantly on site, but both of them. So we have the one that we actually need to install on the Ultra 4 car. We also have a backup one to take with us to KOH as well. Not that we plan on breaking one, but again, most grueling off-roading race in the world. It doesn't hurt to be safe rather than sorry. So,
new third members together with the spool. We got those 6 Spider Track knuckles on and they are fitting and looking great. So now time for a third member to go in, axle shafts in, and start bolting it all together.
The storm is coming, but I'm prepared. I'll be gone for a while, but don't be scared. Right now, I don't know if I'll ever arrive.
We are almost done. Unfortunately, the weather is not reflecting my excitement very well. This cold rain. This is actually the first day since we've been in California, realistically, that has been icy. Like, oh God, actually cold. It snowed in the mountains up high at elevation. We're down, like, actually in the, is this the valley? Is that what they call it? Anyways, we're down low, and it's actually cold instead of like 80 degrees today, which I don't like. The boys are enjoying. I'm not so happy about it. Seats are going in. We're so close, so close. So we've got new PRP harnesses to go with our PRP seats. We've got those installed, and these are actually a 6-point rather than a 5-point. So this is 2 straps down here that bolts to 2 separate sections, and we had to make new mounts for those. But we're strapped in, good to go. But this is not the only other addition we have put on this, obviously. We have a couple more things we have to do. So help me God if you drill through the tire, Kevin Williams.
It's a nitto. It's a nitto. This thing ain't going.
A drill won't go through it.
See?
Perfect. We also had to figure out a way to mount a jack onto the vehicle itself. And a lot of people were saying use the scissor jacks and stuff, which probably would have worked just fine. But we found out that Radflow makes this cool little, pretty slim hydraulic jack. And we found the perfect place to mount it right here. And what we did is we actually welded a tab right here and then a bolt right here. So we can actually slide the jack in and then use the jack itself to pump it up and press it against this. Now we've got a strap here as well, just in case, but this thing is, it is solid.
It's not going nowhere. You gotta say it. That's not going anywhere.
And I feel like I'm gonna jinx myself, but it's not going anywhere. Now, also is kind of an idea, we put this on here as well. So this is a MaxTrax Extreme Traction Board. And originally, they wanted us to test this out with the stepchild, but we figured even better than that, testing it out at King of the Hammers with the Ultra 4 car. Now what's cool is it came with this rear spare tire mount, and it's actually a ratchet strap that we literally just fed under the spare tire. It's ratcheted. It's also the way that we've mounted it is it's gonna keep this right here, our actual spare tire, what would you call that? Tightening screw thingy, my bobber?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, the MaxTrax series is actually probably, hopefully, ideally, gonna keep that from spinning and loosening as well while we're driving. And then, last but not least, can't really see it, but we actually bolted a socket to this as well, just in case something happens. We're gonna be bringing an impact with us, but if it breaks or the battery dies or something happens, we still have a way to get a wheel off in case we need to change out the spare tire.
This is a 1-inch socket that we have to be able to change our tire in case something happens.
But the thought process here, especially with the MaxTrax, is if we're getting to somewhere where we're bellying out, instead of taking the time to pull a winch, wrap a winch around something, winch it, then wrap the winch back up, we can literally just rip this off, throw it under a tire, and hopefully give us enough of a ramp to get up and over something super quickly. So it's just an alternative, essentially, during the race. But at the moment, we're actually, believe it or not done, but done for now. Done until we can get it over to CBM Motorsports tomorrow to actually tune it finally on the dyno, which I know a lot of you have been wanting to see in person. So we got to get this up on a trailer, and then we've got to take it across to the other side of LA.
It's only like 72 miles. Why don't we just drive it?
Sure, in LA, downtown traffic. I'm positive the California police will have no problem with that whatsoever.
They'd have to catch us.
You can't tell how big that burrito is.
Oh my god, it's going out the bottom! No!